Hello. Happy Tuesday. This is your Tuesday edition of Weather Where You Are. I'm Ella Dorsey. Do you guys already know that? Okay. We got a lot of questions this morning about like a smoky haze over the city. I definitely saw it on our cameras, and I even got some emails about it. People wondering what the heck was that? People thought it was a fire. They thought it was smoke. So I wanted to kind of dig into what that haze actually is, what causes it, what to expect from it. So I'm going to start you guys out with a time lapse from this morning. And as you can see, it looks kind of smoky over Midtown, right? Sun comes up and then there's kind of that haze near the surface. I actually moved the camera to face Buckhead here in just a little bit. Look. I mean, it looks pretty. You can actually really see that kind of layer of smog over the city. And then watch what happens. As the day goes on, we hit like 10 a.m., we start to warm up, that smog lifts out, completely lifts out. So that was what basically, as it lifted out, I was like, oh, I know what this is. This is an inversion. So I kind of wanted to show you guys the time lapse of it and go through what causes an inversion. I have some graphics, but I'm gonna let you guys watch the time lapse one more time. You can really see that inversion, that smoke right there. It looks like smoke near the Earth's surface, and watch, it kind of just completely burns off as the day goes on. This is a time lapse from like 7:30 to 10 a.m. So pretty incredible. I love this kind of stuff. So here's what happens normally, okay? At night especially. The warmer air is near the Earth's surface, right? With cooler air the further high you go. So you normally have air that evaporates because it goes from warm to cold. In the, it's usually we get our inversions in spring and fall, okay? So under normal conditions, this is only near the city center where there is pollution. All that pollution can rise because warm air rises, right? But sometimes you have an inversion, which is when cold air, the air is actually warmer, like 1,000 or 2,000 feet off of the Earth's surface, and there's cold air near the Earth's surface that basically traps the pollution. It can't evaporate because there's warm air above it. So you can't get evaporation. So that layer just sits near the Earth's surface when the air near the surface is cooler, and that is what causes the inversion. Now, this happens a lot, not a lot, but it is frequent in the fall, winter, and spring months when you have radiational cooling at night. I bet you guys are wondering, what is radiational cooling, okay? During the day, long-wave radiation from the sun heats the surface of the Earth. It's why we see a warm-up every day, right? At night, that long-wave radiation escapes back into the atmosphere. That's why we cool off. When there are clouds, the clouds act like what we just talked about, that inversion. They trap the heat in the low levels of the atmosphere. They act like a blanket, right? They keep the long-wave radiation from escaping. So when you have cloudy nights, especially in the winter, it can be a warmer, like a 10, 15, even 20 degrees warmer than on nights when you have clear skies, which is pretty incredible, right? Now, on clear nights, like last night, you have it's called radiational cooling. All that long-wave radiation can go right up into the atmosphere. We cool off really quickly, and that's why we saw the inversion is actually the surface of the Earth cooled faster than the layer of air right above the Earth, and that's why we saw the smog. So there you go, a little science lesson for you on this Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It is 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. I have not been outside since 4 a.m. I cannot wait to go out there. Not a cloud in the sky, guys, so we'll probably see that long-wave radiation again tonight. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another smoggy morning tomorrow with the inversion. High pressure, bringing us gorgeous weather. Look at these high temperatures. Incredible. Temps are like 15 to 20 degrees above average as far north as Chicago. A lot of 70s here in the forecast. And look, guys, we're not going to see another major Arctic blast. Highs in the next, 8 days are in the 60s and 70s. Our coolest high Monday is 60 degrees. What does that mean? Has spring sprung? We're getting close. We're getting quite close. Tonight's lows in the 40s, okay? Really only extreme North Georgia's in the 30s. And check this out in terms of what areas will see freezing temperatures overnight. For perspective, again, guys, last Thursday, our high was 35 degrees, all right? It looks like only the higher elevations of the mountains tonight see a freeze. As far as Thursday morning, we're not going to see freezing temperatures at all. In terms of Friday morning, once again, it looks like it's only going to be the highest elevations of North Georgia that see freezing temperatures. So we're going to see pretty mild nights as well. I don't see a high freeze in the forecast. Next Monday, there is a low to moderate risk of freezing temperatures. So what does this mean? When we have these mild days, we have low rain chances, and we don't have freezing nights. It means the pollen's about to pop off. Okay? By the way, our normal last freeze in Atlanta is late March, March 23rd. But, Rodney looked this up. Every year over the last 10 years, our last freeze has been before late March. So that's the average, but history's on our side, global warming. We usually see at least in the last decade, we've seen our last freeze in metro Atlanta in early March, sometimes even late February. So could we have already seen our last freeze? It's possible. For the foothills in northwest Georgia, it's early April. And for the mountains, it's usually late April when we see the last freeze. So technically, we still are very likely to see freezing temperatures. But I have looked in the long range forecast and I see like one short-lived cold snap for the first 2 weeks of March. So I would start taking your allergy medicine if you suffer from allergies. I think we're going to get an early peak pollen season this year, which is usually the end of March. Right now, the level's 67. But again, we already had high levels last week or 2 weeks ago. I think we'll see high levels by the end of this week because it's just going to be so warm and so dry. The only chance of rain on Thursday. Small in chance, y'all. Incredible. Incredible weather. All right? Get outside and enjoy it. It's just going to be a beautiful day. I am going to take my own advice and go get out there right now. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Get outside. It's beautiful.